happy and sad at the same time. I'm finally calling it done on my December journal. Welcome, it's Winnie from BellaSunshyn. This is the first time I've done the December, and I had 3 goals that I set for myself. The first goal was to have fun in anything I did with the pages. The second one was no stress, so I decided whatever Barbara or Louisa does with the prompt, I was just going to copy them. That helped me so much because I didn't have to be so stressed about coming up with my own idea for the prompt. Third, I needed to finish the journal, which means I didn't have to finish it in December. I can finish it whenever I have time or whenever I feel like it's finished. So I finally am done. I finished this at the end of January, and this is what it looks like with all the pages that I added in here. If you guys are curious as to what the book looked like or the binder looked like before, I will leave the link in the description. Most of the digitals that I use for my December are the freebies from Louisa and Barbara, either from the year 2023 or the previous year. I also use a lot of Tina's from the Digital Collage Club membership. I've also used Natalie's from Line.Arrow, and also Paula Slater, and also Eileen. So ladies, thank you guys so much for helping me complete my December. Let's take a look inside. The one thing I wanted to make sure that I had in my December journal is a documentation of what I did that day. Whether did I enjoy the prompt, or why did I use this certain things, whatever it was. I wanted to make sure it was documented. I made the mistake in my junk journal January. I didn't do any documentation, so I kind of missed that piece. There are a couple of things I do want to point out. I decided to skip the friendship bracelet and the spaghetti box window. They weren't speaking to me. I could not come up with a vision of what to do with them, so I decided that I was just going to go ahead and skip them. I did wanted to do the first prompt and the last prompt, which was the door aspect, and I had planned to do it, but as the days went for the month, there was just my binder was getting too difficult to open and close to add pages, so I decided to go ahead and skip that. Otherwise, I did pretty much all the prompt here. The first prompt, here's the butterfly and 3 torn things. This was actually so much fun to do. I didn't think it was beautiful until I did the gold splatter. I think the gold splatter made a big difference on my butterfly. I absolutely love this process. I would definitely do this again. This was the first time I used denim in my journal. And here's the tag from Louisa, and I just did my journaling. This is my salvage bird. Now, funny story on this one, as you can see on the photo, the owl is holding a computer mouse, and so I just covered it with a flower. And I'm calling it a male, which is weird. This was not planned at all. After I made him, I realized I've actually used this owl before. And I actually did that with my junk journal January. And this is what the owl looks like. And I turned her into a female. So I thought, well, how cool is that? You know, this is Mrs. Owl and Mr. Owl. Mr. Owl is bringing Mrs. Owl a nice, colorful orange flower. I thought this was kind of funny. You know, this was January and this is December. These were freebies from Barbara. I just added a leaf just for journaling in there. And here's another salvage bird from Barbara. Hopefully there's not a glare here and you guys can see my picture. This is me. This is my selfie. We had to do a self-portrait painting, and I just took a picture of my painting and used the bubble wrap, you know, that you get from packaging, and I popped the bubbles and glued it onto, or not glue it, but I sewed it to my painting. So this is kind of fun. Here's the clocks and wing, pretty basic, was not feeling well that day. This little ticket booklet here, it made it look like Effie has a little backpack. Here's Christmas meeting Halloween. I really didn't think this page can look great together, but I actually love this page. Following Louisa, the black and the white spatter, I think brings the two pages together. This is the Kintsugi houses. Oh, I love doing this. This was kind of fun. I printed out the image. I did it on this one too. And I tore it in pieces. And then when I put it back, I made sure I did the gold to look like, I glued it together or glazed it together. So this was kind of a fun thing to do. Then, of course, you guys would realize this is from Louisa. I love the interactive thing. I think it's just so neat, so cute, so fun. Here's the back. And here's my mushroom robot. I use Wally. I have Wally collecting some mushroom and put them in the jar. And these jar of mushroom is from Eileen. And the pocket and Wally's hat is from Paula Slater. So I thought that was kind of cool. And as you can see, I don't know if you guys can tell, I use metallic paint to kind of do the lid to make it more, I don't know, three-dimensional. It was just fun to do. And I did some stitching here, hand stitching. And this was the little poem that, or note that came from Barbara, from Effie. This, I don't know if you guys can tell through the video, but this feels like, well, it looks like it's fabric, but this is actually napkin. And there's so many texture on this page. I did some embossing. I glued the napkin into a packaging page, so it gives you that texture in there. And here's the tag. And of course, this is Gypsy, my other cat. I wanted to put Moon, but I couldn't find the proper picture for Moon, so she was kind of sad about that. But I think Gypsy actually looks a lot better than I expected on this page. So, and this one, I just needed to add a pocket and a tag. Again, freebie from Barbara. Like I said, this was last year's turtle, which was originally a black and white. And I just put Louisa's background in there to give color to the turtle. And the dried plant that you're seeing here came all the way from Austin, from my sister's house. And there's a little coin charm that I have. And this one I was practicing on my embossing technique. I used it on the wing on my daughter to make her look like a fairy. So I just did this one simple. And then I also did the vintage meets modern. I wasn't crazy about this. Oh, I forgot. This freebie is from Antonio Makes. This just reminds me of the 80s or painting or whatever. And so I just grunged up the frame to make it look vintagey. And to me, this was kind of my least favorite, just because I couldn't come up really of a better idea than this. This is the Forgotten Snack. This is actually not a forgotten snack. This was a snack that I did not want to forget, so I wanted to make sure it was in here. It was a candy that my husband brought for me, and it is a caramel with a hint of licorice flavor. So those were my two favorite candy, caramel and licorice. And so I just kind of took note the story of what happened with this candy. Now, this is one of my favorite page that I did. This was the last one I worked on. I did try to do the, I don't know, the circle interactive that Barbara had, but my wheel was not turning out properly. It gets stuck. And see, it's just becoming difficult to do. And then I had Effie picture in there, or not Effie, Remy. You can't even really tell. So this was not working out for me, and I really wanted to do the me and my crush. So I came up with a different solution. And as you can see, the girl here represent me, and the only reason why I say it's me is because she's got curly hair like me. Other than that, nothing else. But this was the freebie from Barbara, and she's absolutely gorgeous. So with this one, she wants to live in a castle. So I gave her a castle, and she wants to wait for her Prince Charming, which is her crush that she's had for many years, and it happens to be Keanu Reeves. So it's a hidden secret compartment in here. So this was a lot of fun. My favorite page. And at the end of this, just more of my documentation of my final notes as to what I liked or what I didn't like about the making of the journal. And here's the lace pocket. I actually love the 3-ring binder system. I think this was fun. I could add more pages, but like I said, I didn't want it to be too full. And so this is what my journal looked like. I'm going to do a quick flip through at the end, so stay tuned for that. I can't wait for what Barbara and Louisa has in store for us for December 2024. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.